Now we're going to be talking about record types. So what are record types? Think of them as different types options for an object. So for example, let's say your company sells to multiple different types of accounts. Let's call them enterprise accounts and mid-market accounts. Let's consider mid-market accounts any company that have less than 500 million annual revenue, and anything over 500 million annual revenue is considered an enterprise account. So a record type identifies an account as such. Now you might be wondering, why can't we just use a pick list field to identify the type of record company that is? The reason for that is maybe you want to collect different information for the different types of accounts you deal with. Maybe when you're dealing with an enterprise account, you need a lot more information about their company. For example, their industry and their number of employees. For us mid-market, the only thing you really need is their phone number and website. So that's what record types are. The main time we use them is they can be assigned to any objects, accounts, leads, contacts, opportunities, and we will use the record types and page layouts hand in hand to make it more user-friendly at the end. And I'll kind of show you what I mean by that. Let's go back to our Salesforce org. So this is again we were dealing with Dynaprints. So I'm going to go back to setup here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two different account record types, and what we're going to do with that is take those account record types and we're going to assign them two different page layouts. So that being said, click on Object Manager here, click on Account. So you notice page layouts is already here. If we scroll down, record types are right here. So right now, of course, there is no record type, so we are going to be doing it ourselves. So click on New Record Type, and you get like a form to kind of fill it in. So I'm going to click Enterprise Account. Of course, again, the API name autofills. We'll add a description and we'll call it any company that has more than 500 million annual revenue. The questions here are which profiles get to see this record type. Of course, we don't really care. The only one we really care about is system admin, so we can click that here, system admin. And automatically it's going to assign it as a default, so that's fine because there is no other record type. So we're going to press next. It's going to ask which page layouts we're going to use for this record type. Now, because we haven't created a page layout for enterprise, for now we're just going to leave it as account. So we'll customize that after we finish creating those record types. So I'm actually going to click Save and New instead of Save. And then I'm going to create another record type. So this one is going to be called Mid-Market. And this one, the description is any company that has less than 500 annual revenue. 500 million, sorry, annual revenue. So because we're creating a second record type, you need to make sure that it is active. The first one we create it, it's going to be automatically active. We want to make sure that we enable it for system admin. And we won't click it as default, we'll just save it as it is. We'll click next. And again, we'll assign it to the page layout, account layout. And we'll save this one. So once we save, it's going to give us an option to edit the pick list fields that we have. So these are all the standard pick list field the account object has. And the reason it asks us to edit these pick list fields is we might have different pick list values for different record types. So because of that, it asks us to customize it. So for example, for the mid-market account, I can click on industry and I can only select certain ones that we deal with. So let's say you know what, garment, we're just making an assumption. Let's say garment is always going to be higher than 500 million revenue. So we're going to remove garment. So when we look at the drop down at, say, mid-market account, we're not going to see the value garment. So that's just an example. So we'll save that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to page layouts, and we're going to create two different page layouts. One for our mid-market and one for our enterprise. So we'll click on new page layout. Oh, wrong button there. Let's go back, click on new. So we'll just copy the first one. We'll create one for mid-market. Press save. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean up a few things here. Well, actually this is perfect. So we'll keep it as it is. I'll remove customer number and I'll save that. Alright, so the very basic page layout for our mid-market. Then we'll create another one for our enterprise. So click on account page layout again, just to clone it, and I'll click enterprise. Press save, and we'll just add a few more fields here. We'll add more fields in the additional information. So why don't we add annual revenue? We will add industry. We will also, let's see what else we can add here. I think that's pretty good. I'll just make sure that we see this additional information so it's highlighted. Press OK, and we're going to press save. So right now, if you remember, when we're creating the record types, we assigned all the record types to have the account layout. So we need to make sure we do the work so that the right page layout is assigned to the right record type. So we click on page layout, and now if you remember when we first dealing with page layouts, we only had one option, but now we have three options. So what we're going to do is for the system admin, we're going to click on edit first, and then go to system admin. For this one right here, enterprise, we're going to select the enterprise layout. For the mid-market, we'll select the mid-market layout, and for the regulars we'll just keep it as account page layout. So that's fine. So I'm just gonna press save here. Alright, so now we can go back to our sales app. Oops, I clicked on Sales Console. Sorry, we can click on our sales app. And I'm going to click on account. Now let's try creating a new account here. So if you notice, before when we're creating a new account, we just got the dialog box to kind of fill in the information, but now we can actually fill in. We got to select which record type we're creating, and our description is right here. Press next. So let's say I'm going to create an enterprise account. You notice there's, much more information here. So let me create a enterprise account. Alright, so I'll have a bit more information. Whatever, biotechnology, annual revenue is, let's say, 1 billion. I'll save that. Right, and then we'll click on account again, and let me create a mid-market this time around. So I'll click on mid-market. If you notice, there's no space to gather information about annual revenue, industry, and those stuff, because that's what we did for the page layout. So we'll create mid-market here. And we can create a phone number. And press save. So we have the two different record types here. So the page layout is different. Of course, we can also go back to profiles and say, hey, like this profile can only see this record type. So there's so many different ways we can control who sees what. And that's Salesforce really big on, because if you have a really big company, you're going to have different people want to see different things, and you want to make sure that you give the right access to the right people. So that's the reason for that. So this is record types, which is, again, it goes hand in hand with page layouts as well as profiles.
For more details, check the link in the description. Learn with Whizlabs. Success certified.